We've had the seven-way leaders debate, the oppositional leaders debate, a deluge of policies from all the parties, manifestos launched, attacks made to everyone, from everyone, Tony Blair getting involved, John Major getting involved. We've even had the formation of the Milifandom and the Cameronettes. And also, what is the difference between the debt and the deficit? There seems to be a lot of confusion related to that. It's all kicking off, and with only 15 days left, this is Samir's Election Watch.
I don't know where the lights are taking us, but something in the night is dangerous, and nothing's holding back the two of us. Baby, this is getting serious. The dangerous.
Seven-way leaders debate, which was quite interesting, well, quite chaotic, quite crowded, to be fair. Nicola Sturgeon came out on top by most of the people watching in the polls, and these are the two images that suggest how the second debate went with the BBC. Both men isolated at different points. Talking of isolation, a lot of negative campaigning from Tories. Tony Blair getting involved, was that a good idea? Probably not. And John Major attacking the potential SNP-Labour alliance. Very negative campaigning throughout. Now, all politicians seem to be getting themselves filmed in the kitchen, so I thought I should join in on the action. Why not? What's really interesting about the Milifandom is that it was created by a teenager, someone who's actually revising for the AS levels at the moment, which is why she doesn't want to do any interviews with the media companies. But it was created as a response to the unfortunate, mean, vile rhetoric that's gone around Ed Miliband with the media and the way that he is portrayed. In fact, her parents are Tories, but she just felt that they needed to be a bit more of a balanced agenda in the way that he is, talked about. This responded with, it wasn't even a genuine thing. I think it was a Conservative Party rebuttal where they created the Cameronettes, which didn't have as effective a response on Twitter. Basically, with regards to the Milifandom, it's take your average teenage girl that's obsessed with One Direction or Justin Bieber and use that passion for the various individual band members and channel that towards Ed Miliband. So people dreaming about him, in love with him, crying over him, that sort of a response he has been given, which is quite interesting because when you do have the teenage backing on your side, Twitter can go crazy, and as you can see, make sure you do check out those hashtags, hashtag Milifandom, hashtag Cameronettes as well. It does beg the question, when is Nick Clegg and Nigel Farage, perhaps Natalie Bennett, gonna get their fan clubs as well? And whether or not this is a good thing or not, obviously completely opposing views from people. Oh, it's absolutely nonsensical, it's nuisance, it's dumbing down politics to British society. Or the contrasting view, which I believe as well, that, look, I'm quite glad that we are getting young people involved in politics from such a young age that they're actually dying to be able to vote, but, they're 13 or, underage to be able to go to the polling station on election day. That's the way I look at it from this kind of perspective, because politics is considered boring and dumb and stuff, but the fact that we are seeing it from this positive outlook, as well as seeing political stories of some sort in the likes of BuzzFeed and other feature sites, I think it can only help for a more engaged, politically active society in the years to come. Now, it's really interesting to look at the current polls. Obviously they change every day. As you will see, they have been pretty stagnant, or they've been roundabout where they've started off. This is the current polls that we have it. As you can see, it's pretty neck and neck between Labour and the Conservatives, 35 points to the Tories and 34 for Labour, respectively. UKIP are on 13, Lib Dems on 8%. They've been pretty unchanged, 8-9% usually, and the Greens are on 5%. Now, just bringing in some of the policies that have been going about with the various parties. We'll start with UKIP. Easiest to pick up. They've planned for an extra £3 billion a year for the NHS. That's one of the things that they are after. The Liberal Democrats have pledged an increase of the tax-free allowance to £12,500. At the moment it is £10,600. Very popular policy indeed. Let's go to Labour. They've got a policy. I mean, this is not all their policies. Obviously, they've all got lists. It's just to give you a flavour of some of the policies being thrown about. freeze energy bills till 2017. I'm sure people will be happy with that. The Greens have said to return the railways to public hands. Obviously lots of privatisation in the railway at the moment. And the Tories, a policy that they've got at the moment of 30 hours of free childcare per week for working parents of 3 and 4-year-olds. So really interesting, the kind of policies that have been going around. Plenty of different areas of interest, whether it's immigration or the NHS, whether it's education or tax and the economy. There is plenty to talk about, and plenty that will continue to be talked about over the days and weeks following. The debt and the deficit. Two things that mean the same thing, surely? Absolutely not. And that's why there's all the confusion, because the deficit has been reduced by a half, and yet the debt is £1.5 trillion, higher than ever, as it appears to be seen. Now, let me make it easy and simple to understand. The government income that it makes in a year, because of all the taxes that it receives, is £100, right? And the amount that it spends, because of, funding the NHS, giving all the MPs their salaries and all the other things the government does, costs £150. So you've got £50 more that you're spending that you don't actually have funds to, so you're going into debt essentially. Now each year on year, the debt keeps getting added to. The deficit is the amount that you're going up by. So let's say you go, let's say you spend 150, so you're £50 in debt, but next year you decide I'm only going to spend 125. So the debt is still increasing by 25 in the next year, but you've halved the deficit because the rate at which the debt is going up is not as high. So yes, the Conservatives and the coalition, in fact, the Lib Dems as well, have said that the deficit has been cut by a half, but that doesn't mean that the debt has been abolished. No, far from it, nowhere near it. In order to be able to start paying off the national debt, you need to not even have a deficit in the first place. You need to have got rid of all the annual borrowing that is happening through the government, and you need a surplus, which some parties have said that they want to try and aim for in the next few years. In order to get that surplus, you can start paying off the debt. Because it's great that we've reduced our spending from 150 to 110, but you're still adding. It's just a modest increase on the debt each year. So just because the deficit has been reduced, the debt hasn't.